Vice President Kamala Harris back to her hyperbolic ways while fighting for abortions. Get this. She accused the Supreme Court, the interpreters of the Constitution, of not adhering to the Constitution. Here's what she said.
The United States Supreme Court, in the Dobbs decision, took a constitutional right that had been recognized from the people of America, the women of America.
Okay. By the way, are we going to have to revisit the whole mask thing? I'll leave that aside for a second. But nowhere in the Constitution are there federal protections for abortion. Doesn't mention abortion. That was one of the reasons that they took Dobbs and said, you created this and it's not there, and we're going to send it back to the states. Here to react, please welcome in our chairman of the Committee to Defeat the President, Ted Harvey, and the host of Money Talk with Melanie Collette. Melanie, your thoughts here.
She needs to understand, Kamala, respectfully, Madam Vice President, that just because you say it slow and dramatically doesn't make it true. Right. It does not make it true. That is not true, what she just said. It was not a constitutional right to privacy or abortion or anything like that. And I've never seen women fight so hard to kill other women. It's really just disgusting to me.
Well, it's also interesting.
She's the head cheerleader.
Yeah, she said the people were the ones that saw the right. And it's like, yeah, but that's not how it works. I mean, it was either in the Constitution or it wasn't. And Ted, that's kind of, again, a civics lesson. And this person was the Attorney General of California. You would think her arguments, at least, would be a little more sophisticated.
Without a doubt. And she keeps saying the people. Well, if the people want to have it, they have every right whatsoever.
That's right. They can do it in the states.
To pass a law to put it back into statute. But she knows that the American people don't want it. And therefore, that's why the left always goes through the court system to push their radical, extreme ideas, because they know they can't get it through the Democrat process, including killing unborn babies.
All right. Now, Harris isn't the only one talking about abortion. There was some drama after Congressman Matt Gaetz made this comment at a Turning Point USA rally.
Have you watched these pro-abortion, pro-murder rallies? The people are just disgusting.
Yeah, Melanie, continue your thought process here, because the topic is not going away, and it seems like the Democrats are trying to utilize this to really get people to rally behind them, and that doesn't seem to be working.
Because they're their own worst enemy. Part of the reason why abortion got to this point is because they went from being abortion should be rare and safe to, hey, let's kill babies after they're born. If they're not perfect, we'll talk to the parents and see how we feel about whether or not they can live or die. That's what the former governor of Virginia said. When abortion was safe and rare, even those of us who were pro-life, we still didn't want to see abortion,
right,
but we were kind of okay.
Yeah.
But the Democrats just took it way out of bounds, and that's when we girded up our loins and we're like, let's go. We got to get rid of this.
Okay, let's take a look.
They were their own worst enemy.
Let's take a look at after Gaetz said that. Here's what The View host Sarah Haynes had to say.
Someone does need to tell him, one, nobody's pro-abortion, and everyone is pro-life. It's that some people decide to eliminate the life of the mother altogether. The viable, existing human, we're just not going to attend to, but the clump of cells, and we can all debate when that starts, is going to be defended at all costs.
Ted, your thoughts?
The clump of cells. If it was just a clump of cells, then Planned Parenthood wouldn't be dismembering these human beings and selling their body parts. It's not a clump of cells. And the people that are advocating this, like Melanie said, they're advocating it all the way up to the point where the mother is dilating and giving birth, that they should be able to kill the child. They passed a law like that in New York. They passed a law like that in California. And regrettably, even here in my state of Colorado, the Democrats in March passed a bill to say that up to the point of after birth, you could kill a baby if that was the intent of the mother. And that is horrendous. And that's why you're seeing the American people across the entire spectrum rising up and saying that's outrageous. We're not going to put up with that anymore.
By the way, let's take a look at this. This is on college campuses. There are some dynamics. Here's some University of Michigan medical students walking out of a speech by an anti-abortion speaker. Do we have that? They got up and walked out. And Melanie, what strikes me about this is if they're going to be involved with providing care to women, I think we can define these birthing people as women. They should at least be familiar with the arguments, not take offense to them, and understand there are people in the world that strongly have those convictions and shouldn't be offended by that. They're letting politics drive it when they should be there as medical students to learn about how people think, how they react, and to treat the body.
Indeed, they should, as medical students. Why would they not be? I mean, listen, it certainly was their right to walk out and do a silent protest if that's what they wanted to do. But as medical students, they should definitely be open to those arguments, be open to understanding how their patients are thinking, and be respectful of the sanctity of life and understand that. And the woman wasn't even speaking about pro-life that day, is my understanding.
Right.
So why they really walked out because they heard that she was pro-life and that was her position, but that wasn't even what she was speaking about that day. So the whole thing was really ridiculous, in my opinion, and just showed a lack of taste and class and disrespect to her as a speaker.
Yeah, and here they are walking out, by the way. And I guess, Ted, what bothers me the most about this is I don't even begrudge them if they don't agree with the perspective. But that's kind of not what they're there for. They should understand at least the people they work with, people they live in the community with, and people they may be treating do think this way. And like Melanie said, she wasn't even there to talk about that topic.
That's right. She never brought up abortion. And what they are saying is that they just don't disagree with you. I will not recognize your right to have that opinion. And are they walking out because she's pro-life, or are they walking out because she's Christian, that believes that every human being is made in the image of God? Mm-hmm. That's what this doctor, the speaker, was talking about. That's what she's known as a Christian doctor. And God forbid we have Christians in the public sphere that are willing to stand up for their values.
Right. And by the way, how totalitarian are we getting in which you can't handle someone having a different opinion than you do? Ted, Melanie, stand by if you will. We'll be back in just a moment.